Joining us now to review some of the headlines of today's newspapers from around the world is Arise News analyst Emefiele.
Good morning, Ruben.
Emefiele, good morning.
Yes, good morning, Rufai.
Elder.
Good morning, Tundu.
Good morning.
Yes, let's start with these day newspapers, Nigeria's newspaper of records. The lead story, trade restrictions policy to protect local industries. Emefiele tells Okonjo-Iweala. WTO DG proposes remedies. Banks, telcos agree on new charges for USSD services. Yes, yesterday, the central bank governor, of course, hosting the World Trade Organization Director General, our own Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, explained, of course, he defended the CBN's restrictive trade policy, stressing that it was meant to protect local industries from unfavorable competition and to create jobs for Nigerians. Yes, but we'll need to do more than protecting industries or protectionism if you want to create more jobs, because he was citing the case of the milk industry where the central bank has restricted or refused to give milk companies who don't embark on backward integration access to foreign exchange. But in the face of the African free trade agreement, how well can protectionism be carried out? Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala's visit to the CBN was carried live on Arise News yesterday. Now, other economic issues, the Nigerian Tribune. Nigeria's inflation rate hit 17.33%, highest in 4 years. Prices of food items, highest in Kogi, Ondo, Ebonyi. Of course, we broke this news yesterday. Ruben, you did during the newspaper review. And Daily Sun also carrying the same story. Food prices good soar as inflation bites harder. Experts, Nigerians lament, rise to 17.33%. While the Guardian newspaper, Nigeria's The Guardian newspaper, predicting tougher times as debt, inflation, unemployment weigh on economy. Risky future as strategic reserve run dry, says economists. More Nigerians give up, withdraw from labor market. Food inflation hits hard as insecurity triggers rural, urban migration. Who will stay in the rural area if you cannot go to your farm and come back alive? So the government need to deal with the issue of security. Unemployment rate. PDP decries federal government's alleged deceit. Now, the Daily Times of Nigeria, expert point way out as Nigeria's debt, inflation, unemployment soar. Now, the Nation newspaper, bankers should be worried. EFCC to bankers, asset declaration now a must. Role of financial institutions in crime worrisome. Agency to battle cyber criminals. Now, the News Direct carrying the same story, asset declaration. Bank officials panic as EFCC sets June 1 deadline. Now, according to the EFCC, a lot of fraud, a lot of the fraud in government are routed through the financial institutions, including banks. And one way to also get to the root of that is to get bank officials to declare their assets. But you will ask, all the asset declaration done by government officials before and after being in office, what have we done with those declarations to curtail the issue of corruption in government? So let's see how the EFCC, June 1 is the deadline, bankers beware. Now, New Telegraph newspaper, I have constitutional power to extend IGP's tenure, Buhari tells court, while hearing of suit against Adamu was told. Of course, some persons are challenging the extension of the tenure of the Inspector General of Police, despite the fact that he has served his required tenure, constitutionally speaking now. But the president decided to extend. Some persons are challenging, and the president is saying in court he has the powers to extend. Vanguard newspaper, Wakili, his two sons face murder, kidnapping, and conspiracy charges. Court remands him in prison custody, use-raise header settlement in Saki over farmers' death. I think this is a good development on this story because it's good the man, Wakili, is having his day in court. It is the duty of the court to really ascertain whether indeed is a kidnapper, because he has been claiming he is innocent, and some other papers have simply described him as a Fulani leader in the southwest. Now, the foreign newspapers, quickly. The Wall Street Journal, U.S. eyes tougher stance on drug measure. Federal Trade Commission wants to rethink how pharmaceutical deals could hamper the commission. Of course, the Federal Trade Commission in the U.S. is taking a tough stance on merger among pharmaceutical companies because of likely antitrust breach in the face of rising cost of drugs. If we look at the Daily Telegraph of UK, quickly, the Daily Telegraph, yes, EU leaders turn on each other in jab-row. For the records, individual EU countries have stopped or put a pause on the AstraZeneca jab. Not EU as a commission, not EU. 17 countries have done so, but they are also receiving tongue lashing from the European Medicines Agency, which also claim clearly that there is no connection between fatal blood clots and the AstraZeneca vaccine, which means we are on good standing because our own professionals, like the Lagos State Commissioner for Health, has said the side effects you see after taking the jabs like he had were normal side effects. So we are on good standing, and the European Medicine Agency is also chiding the countries that have stopped using the AstraZeneca vaccine in Europe because many are dying. And there is the fear of a third wave of the pandemic in many European countries. So why stop instead of giving the people the jab? More so, the incidences of blood clot are few and far in between. Ruben, Rufai, and Tundu.
All right, we'll go for a quick break, sir, but we'll come back to you. We'll talk some more. Okay.
You have a minute.
All right, okay.
Well, Emefiele, very quickly, I think it's good that you drew attention to the same subject that Rotus brought. Our inflation has gone up 17.73%. Our food inflation has gone up over 21%, and how from 9% in 2015, we are now talking of a 33.3% unemployment rate. If you look at all the figures that have been rolled out by the Bureau of Statistics, and you attach that to the kind of agony that people are going through, then it will mean that we're in a very difficult situation indeed. But the question is, when are we going to get out of this? If you look at the report in greater detail, you see that food now has become very difficult for people to access. So we're facing an expansion of the challenge of hunger in the country. And then in Lagos State, it's good that Professor Abayomi came forward yesterday to inform the public about 88 vaccination centers. I think those vaccination centers need to be publicized so that people will know where they are. But we need to take a short break. Thank you, Emefiele. I understand we'll come back to you after the break. Welcome back to the morning show here on Arise News. Still with us is Emefiele, who has been reviewing newspapers from around the world. Emefiele, before we went on break, I was talking about the situation in Lagos, and I was going to give additional information that the Lagos State government will need to publicize those 88 vaccination centers in the 20 local governments so that the people will know where those centers are really. And we've also been told that we can all go and register online, vaccination.org.ng. And I think there's also the MPHCDA-DAIC.ng that the commissioner talked about. Well, the problem with that is that many of the ordinary people who do not have access to smartphones or tablets, how would they be accommodated? Because the majority of the people who may probably take this vaccine between phase 1 and phase 4, as outlined, may not necessarily have enough sophistication to be able to go online and register. I hope further guidance will be provided in that regard. But so far, I think the news that the AstraZeneca vaccine offers more benefits than risks is something that should build confidence in Nigeria.
Yes. Because,
many people in Nigeria were also becoming hesitant because that's the same vaccine that we have here. But now we know that, it's all politics in Europe and elsewhere, and that here it is safe. And Professor Abayomi devoted a whole paragraph in the statement that he issued to how, yes, there will be side effects. He explained what those side effects are. I think a lot more can be done to further educate the people. And so, Emefiele, I expect, that you quickly go and register.
Wow.
Now that you fall into the phase 1.
Dr. Bati, how about you?
Yes, I'll register too, of course.
Yes.
You've registered too?
Well, the centers include all military hospitals and police hospitals in Lagos. So you can just pop into Awolowo Road here, down the road where we have the military hospital, and take your jab. I encourage all to do that. Tundu, I encourage you to do so.
Absolutely. I'm definitely taking it.
Yes. Now, I don't know how much time we have, but let's just look at another story from the Times of the UK.
Mr. Emefiele, unfortunately, we just have to say a very big thank you to you.
So we drop the anchor here.
Yeah, we'll drop the anchor here. Thank you.